Hello guys, and today I am going to be making the OP-12 Enel guide. And where is this? OP-12 Enel guide. And I think Enel is probably going to be the new yellow Lucci. And honestly, I just want to give this guide out just for people to know, and I'll explain the list and how people are playing it as well, because I have a lot of people always asking me questions about this. So this is my OP-12 guide to help you play Enel. And what do I mean that Enel is a new yellow Lucci? So to start off, we got to show off the list. So I just want to give a shout out real quick to Josh from Australia. He got rank 1 with Enel and OP-12 on rank sim recently, and this is probably similar to a list that he would be playing that was showcased on Eggman's stream. So the list he was playing was a starve list. So if you don't know what starve is, starving is a strategy that has been going on for a long time now. A while back, I was a big fan of it, where you are essentially choking your opponent out of resources, whereas most decks you draw for turn. Everyone draws for turn, right? They take another resource, another card draw from when you attack them in their life. So if you are starving them, you don't attack their life. You don't give them more resources than the ones they draw, the ones they search. So what this list is meant to do is use to stack your opponent's life, probably a fair amount, to then go for lethal when you have a lot of top end, or what I will be calling them as kaijus, moving forward. This deck is very fun. However, oops, I dropped my phone. However, there's one thing I would like to note, that you must know how to play the most optimal lines very fast, due to the fact that this list can go into time. And when you're in time, you are going to be in a very bad position if your opponent has stacked up 8 to 9 life. Most of the time, as I play this game, you do see that I play very fast. That's because I know what my line is, and I know what my optimal play is going to be versus what my opponent's optimal play is. So I'm just going to give a little summary of what the cards are doing. And I will also talk about one tech card that could be played, and I'll explain what it could be and why at the end of the video. But right now, with the what we start off with, Enel, very simple leader. When you hit 0, you heal 1 on your opponent's turn. When you hit 0, you heal 1, and then you discard a card. Please remember, a lot of people don't know this. When you hit 0, you heal first, then you discard, because you can heal. If you have 0 cards in hand, you're allowed to heal for free. Heal and discard. Or if you had 1 card in hand, and if you hit a 0 cost option, you can heal and then discard a card and then still heal again. So very simple, if you guys know. And the reason why I love Enel the most is I hate losing to aggro decks, and I love having fun. Like, I just love trolling around. But mostly red decks are really annoying for me. So I like to try to control, and Enel is one of those decks. So yeah. The next we play is our first 2K Zeus. Zeus is very good due to the fact that it's a 2K, but also it can KO cards. After you take a life, you can KO your opponent's 5 costs or less. Very, very strong, due to the fact that sometimes you don't have a removal, and this card is the card you need to remove stuff with. Very early game. Another card people always play in Enel is the Capone. It's a 2K counter, but for trigger, it essentially is just infinite counter. And I explain this to people that if you never play Capone in your deck, this card is like, you're trolling, due to the fact that the trigger can stop a 9K swing. That's like 2 to 3 cards out of your hand already, which is very, very good. It's all about resource grinding. So this card's like one of the best cards. Really insane. If it comes up, it comes up. If not, it's a 2K. It's just perfectly fine. We've also played X-Drake. If you guys don't know what this card is, from OP-10, it activate main. You can rest this character, and if your opponent has more life than you, or if you have less life than your opponent, you're able to rest one of their 4 cost characters or less. It's very, very good because in this list that we were playing, we have a lot of life that you were giving your opponents. So we're always going to be less life than them. This is good into Blackbeard. This is good into only thing on the top of my head is just Blackbeard and Lucci sometimes if they play Rebecca and try to guard up. Okay, onto the first card. First starving card. Your deck wants to naturally go second, due to the fact that you have a lot of even cards you would like to play. If you aren't going second, it's still fine. It's just a little bit more awkward, but it's still great. Because with Kuzan, what this card does is you may place one of your opponent's 3 costs or lower to the top or bottom of their life face up, and then they have to trash a card from their hand. So this card's really good. If you get to play 1 or 2 of these Kuzans out during a match, you're most likely having a really good success with starving. Because if you go second, your opponent plays a 1 to 3 costs on their 1 to 3 on turn, and then you get to play this Kuzan and they rip a card out of their hand. So that's really good. You develop a board, they lose a card. It's really, really strong. Other than that, it's a 1K. It's cool, but the goal is to stack your opponent's life. They're a 5 life leader. You play Kuzan, you get something away. It's a 6 life leader, and then if you play one more, it becomes 7. Very good, very strong. This other card, the next card that we are on this list is Monkey D. Luffy. He is active main. If your opponent has 2 or less life, you can KO a 4 cost or less from their hand, then draw a card, which is really good. But however, this card I don't think is as strong as compared to Gadatsu, but it's still a card to play. Another thing I would like sorry about that. Another thing that I would recommend is it's a really nice trigger to have, but Gadatsu might be a better place, but it's changeable. Now for me, I would play Gadatsu. It's just my choice. We have now the next 2 cards coming up are the new cards from OP-12. We have a 5 cost Sabo. This card is kind of insane. It's similar to Sanji from EBO2. However, this card gains blocker and gets 3+3 at cost if you have 3 or less life, and you're Enel, so you're always around 3 or less life. But another thing too is that on play you're able to add the top card of your life, and then that's cycles itself, and you're able to draw 2 cards and trash 1, which is a cycle, which is pretty strong. Another thing too is that if some decks are starving you, playing this Sabo helps you cycle your hand to look for the key pieces you need. So it's also a blocker, which is cool. And the next card we play here is the 6 cost Kuma from OP-12. It's a 6,000 1k counter, 7,000 power character, and on play you can trash a card from your hand and heal 1 card, and it gains +2 cost, makes it an 8 to the end of your opponent's turn. And if this is ever KO'd by your opponent's on your opponent's turn, you're able to heal another card out of your life. This card's really strong. It helps your mid-range game feel a little useful. Everyone likes to heal, and this is super annoying because it heals and it swings into your opponent, grabs some cards, and if they kill it, they heal again. So it's kind of annoying, similar to Kikunojo, but it's pretty good. Another thing, the next card we play is 8 cost Katakuri. This card is just naturally always good in Enel. If you don't know by now, this card has been a staple since Block 1, OP-03. It's going to get rotated out in April, so just a heads up. This card, you can put 1 character with a cost of 8 or less to the top or bottom of the owner's life face up. This is really strong due to a lot of cards. You want to stack up their life, so on 8, if you can put an 8 cost away or a 7 cost away, it's just so much value. Another thing too is he's a pseudo heal for yourself. You can put him into your life, put a 2k like a Zeus or something away back into your life, which is so good, So notable card Katakuri. And we'll explain what other targets we can attack with Katakuri throughout the video. And then, as you're stacking your opponent's life, life stacking is very, very crazy. I only showed one card so far. There's another. This is the second one, and we have the third one at the very end. We also have Yamato. Yamato, stable since OP-04. It's a heal, and it KOs one of your opponent's characters with a cost of equal to the total of you and your opponent's life. So you're going to be at 1 life most of the time, or maybe 0 life, and you add up to your opponent's life. It could be 7, 8, even 9 or 10, and you can just start KOing top end bodies that they're playing for their whole turn. Which is really, really good. And if you have 1 or less life, you get to heal as well. So you're like doing 2 things, removing something, establishing your own board, and KOing a body off their, removing something, establishing your own board, and healing. Those are the 3. And then also we have the best card since EBO2. If you don't know by now, Enel, that's what we've been calling him, Enel. Because your leader is a Sky Island type, this card gains rush, and it plays around Blackbeard's on play abilities. Because Ace used to be our ace monster. However, Enel now is just our new ace, or our new boss monster, our new top end kaiju. This card, when attacking, you may trash a card from your hand, and then if you're at 1 or less life, you get to heal 1, and this card gains plus 1,000 power. Very, very strong. Used to crash into things. Very nice. Very, very sticky. Kinda. Onto our 0 cost option. This card is always good. The trigger, if you guys don't know, if you're at 0 life, this is say your last life, you get to heal 1 as a trigger, and then trash 1 card from your hand. So healing first and trashing. You also have the counter to trash a card you don't need and get to give a character or leader plus 3,000 power, which is just always, it's just good. You have a lot of bricks in your hand. This deck has like 3, 4, 8, 12, including itself, because you need an extra card. 16, 24 bricks. So yeah, 24 bricks. Nothing crazy, but it is what it is. Broken card. If you win off double 0 cost option, it's kind of crazy. And another interaction with this is your leader is mandatory. So when you hit 0 and hit a trigger with this card, you also get to heal with this, so you get to heal like 2 HP. On to our next card. Let's go to the last card first before. Let's do the last card first. So this card from OP-11 is Merman Combat Ultramarine. I honestly just call it Mermaid Cannon. But what it does is you can add up to 1 character with a cost of 6 or less face up to your top or bottom of your owner's life. So you can put their 5 costs away, 6 costs away. You play this on 6, they play this on. They play a 5-drop on 5. You just get to remove stuff, and the trigger also is just kind of insane. Putting a 4 cost or less to the top or bottom of the life face up is also really good. Comes up to just be super annoying, just to trade 1 for 1 for cards. So you're stacking life up. So Kuzan stacks at 3 costs or lower. They discard a card. This card stacks at 6 costs or lower. Which is good, and then Katakuri is 8 costs or lower. So you have 12 cards to stack your opponent's life with, and if you hit multiple stacks, it helps. If they're a 4 life leader, you get them to 5, 6, 7. A little bit more, it gets them to 8. And then the last card since OP-05, this is called Hinobird Zap in English. This card is similar to Yamato. It's a cheaper Yamato. It KOs 1 of your opponent's character with a cost equal to or less than their life. And it's just insane because you are stacking life. You can also play this on 10 on turn with Katakuri and this. It's always about removal and being able to remove cards that your opponent will have. So yeah. We will show the list on the bottom here, and I'll explain. It's gonna be a super long video, but I'm gonna explain what decks that are gonna be played in the meta and how you would play against it, and the tech card that I would probably play. I would probably explain the tech card now. If you don't know, 1 second. Whoopsies. Some people are playing this tech card called Arc Maxim. It's good in specific matchups, but it's kind of greedy. I am playing it, but it could also be like fake. Still testing it out, you know. But it says you may rest the stage and one of your Enels, so your leader or your 10 cost, and you can kill all your opponent's characters with 2 costs or less. Cool. And then obviously Gadatsu is a card you can play as well, similar to stacking. You're just able to remove stuff off their life. Okay. Let me remove this, remove that, put the list on, and we'll just start with the first leader. We're going to go Rayleigh. Rayleigh is, if you guys don't know, he's the new red leader, 5 life in OP-12, and he has a unique rule where they can't play 5 costs or greater into their deck, which is whatever. However, he has to reveal 2 event cards to give one of his characters the base power of 4 or less, plus 2,000 for the turn. A lot of his decks is just cycling, you know, 1-drop searcher, 1-drop searcher, 1-drop searcher. So these are targets for Kuzan that you can do. And then he also has Sanji, which will help him take a life. So you have so many Kuzan targets because you literally see right now, this is a standard, not a standard, but a list that I think people will be playing. You have 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 26 targets to be able to Kuzan his cards. You know, your Luffy can pop mostly everything on his board, and once you get past like 8 or 9 dot, everything is just killable. I also forgot to talk about, so before we go back here, let me go back to this. Sorry, this is so bad. How do you beat people with this list? So as you are stacking life, sorry, I'm like super out of it. When you're stacking life, when you start putting like 8 drops, 9 drops, 10 drops back to back, you have 5, you know, top end characters. You can start swinging to his life. How much Dawn is he going to use to remove one of these cards? How much Dawn are they going to do? And you just go 5 with your leader. Take 5. They're going to take it. They have like 8, 9 life. Or they're going to counter. They counter? Cool. I'll pass. If they take it, I'm going to just send my whole board on you. Make sure I'm able to guard it and make sure like it's winnable. But when you watch, literally once the top end gets one top end gets removed, you just play another top end to replace it after the turn after, and it just goes. I'll do the same thing again and again until you have a card, a handful of like cards, and you're like, bro, I'm just taking everything. Natural numbers, 8, 9, 11s. So yeah. That's probably not the best explanation, but once you watch more videos, you'll understand. Back to Rayleigh. So most of these cards are here to set him up for success. Essentially has, even though I said 3 searchers, I forgot this bow is also a searcher to add an event or a Monkey D. Luffy. So that's literally 16 searchers. And then this Sanji's a 2K, but he also can use it to like get a card out of his life, which is a counter to our Starve strat, but you have ways around that. Zoro, non-counter rush. Sanji, when he's KO, gets draw. You know, just power. This new Luffy, you have 2 or more attached Dawn on the field. This card gains plus 2,000, so he's a 6K. And then you can reveal 2 events, and then give 1 red character with a power of 3,000 or less. You know, 1 rested Dawn. Or you can give it. Oh, you play 1. Sorry, you reveal 2 events. You play 1, and then you give 1 rested Dawn to your leader or your character. And all these spells essentially do like something crazy. This one, like, your opponent can't activate blockers. It's a counter for plus 2,000. You can attach 1 active Dawn and look for an event or a character with 3 costs or more. This one is like the most broken Conqueror's Hockey spell. It essentially buffs everything anything by 2,000, and if you have 1 Dawn up, you can rest 1 Dawn and give everything minus 1,000 power. You know, this one literally buffs plus 1,000. You know, and then other spells that you kind of pay attention and be worried about. This is an easy matchup for Enel due to the fact that you're just starving him. Mermaid Cannon's just hitting things. Kuzan's hitting things. Luffy's hitting things. You know, Sabo probably not played here, but if you needed to, you can cycle. It's cool. It's a blocker. And, you know, Kuma also just healing and being annoying. And everything is just, you just full starve them. You build your board. You send it on them. And he has to take it all and whatnot. So, pretty good. Very, very simple. On to the next leader I wanted to showcase, which is Green Zoro. This leader is a little harder to play against. But if you have the setup, it's just naturally good. He has a couple searchers, a couple weekends. He probably has right here is 4, 8, 12, 16. He probably never playing this. So, but 20, his 23 costs or lower. So Kuzan is hitting these. You know, he plays he'll play his Tashigi on 5 to out your Kuzan. You're fine. You just take it. You just Mermaid Cannon this away. He plays Cavendish. You Mermaid Cannon it away. If you don't have Mermaid Cannon or Hinobird Zap, you can also Zeus him. You know, or Gadatsu if you're playing that. Just very situational things, you know, for him to have. And if he ever plays Mihawk on 8 or Hody Jones, the list he can also be playing, you can just Katakuri that away. And once you stack him up enough, you can start Yamato killing his Katakuri. The only downside about playing into this leader is he can swing into your 8 cost or more twice. So if you use turn 1, just get ready that if you counter, he's going to do it again. So you're just giving out cards for free. So be wary of how much counter you're wanting to give and what you're going to give up for. So sometimes you just slowly chip at him and he'll probably take it. And then you just full send and he kills 1 or 2 bodies. But as long as you have 1 or 2 bodies up, you'll be fine. Also be wary of this card. This card is so broken. It's I'm Invincible. It's literally being able to reset a Zoro as active. So if he plays 9 cost Zoro, he can do it. But this leader can double attack you, maybe even triple attack you. So just be very wary of that. He does have a lot of counter, but also sometimes some of his cards are also kind of fake. But if you don't play that many bodies and you just remove his stuff, as long as you remove 1 card per turn or 2 cards per turn, you are in a really good position. Yeah, so the goal is to remove 1 card he plays and outs it. However, the only thing is this teacher guy, I know he's the teacher, he's a blocker, and if one of your cost 5 or lower / attribute characters were removed by a KO effect by your opponent, which is us, you may rest this card instead. If he has this in Tashigi, it's going to be a little harder to, but you just have to know how to navigate to clear both these 2 things that he's going to play out, and also like a Mihawk or something, right? So you can go pop, and remove, you know, just be very cautious of how you play things. Onto the next deck. Let's go with Kuzan first. We're going to do a little bit more of some OP-12. Kuzan, if you guys don't know, this card literally gets like free cycling ability where discarding for Navy effects aren't too bad. You just draw it again. And honestly, this deck is very similar to any other deck you're playing. You just stall him out, play your cards, and you just naturally win. The only downside is his boss monsters he's trying to play as he's not all decks are playing this, but he's trying to play this stack of 12 cards: Kuzan, Sakazuki, and Garp. Just the fact that Garp can let him play another Navy that's blue with 8,000 power or less, so he can play this, the Sakazuki, or this Kuzan. However, this deck will run out of power as it does cycle through a lot. It does have a lot of counter, so you have to be knowing how to milk his hand out, as well as like being wary of his ability to that he will deck out. As long as you don't die, you'll be fine. He also plays Red Rock and Pudding, so be wary of that. Kuzan literally hits these cards here. Mermaid hits. Could have hit Kuzan, but if they have 5 or more cards, he'll be 7, so you'll never get to Mermaid Cannon that. But literally, Katakuri is your best friend of this matchup. Katakuri, Yamato, and then being able to just fight for his board and just swing at him is just crazy. Some decks are playing Cavendish, which is cool, but just be wary that it's just a cycle and it's a brick, and if you put it away, they have to take it later. Yeah, and this is a pseudo Gum Gum Giant. Honestly, yeah, this is my thoughts. This deck is pretty cool, but we'll see how it goes after the ban list, if there is one on Saturday, whenever this video gets released. On to the next deck that I wanted to talk about, which is Blackbeard. It's a harder deck to play against, actually. However, if you ever play Kuzan into any of these cards, it's just so much worth it for you, because you're most likely hitting a Luffy or a Doku, and they have to discard a card. And if they're discarding a card for their leader ability on your 4 Dawn turn, it's Kuzan did its job. It's not too bad. Mermaid Cannon, or Mermaid, the spell, it's so good. You want to put the Jesus Burgess away, the Van Augur away. Those are your 2 only targets. Honestly, you don't want him to have all of these. And obviously, Jesus Burgess, super annoying, super like powerful, super tanky. But X-Strike also can help you answer with that. X-Strike swing into it, make him lose it. Kuzan helps him draw, summon stuff. And obviously, Marshall D. Teach is annoying to deal with. However, if he doesn't, he'll run out of gas by discarding a card from his hand every turn. Your Katakuri would just put this away, and then late game, you have to either find a way to Yamato this or play 10 ace and try to like swing into it. It's very hard, but they also play this Black Spiral. It nullifies one of your opponent's or character's effect and minus 4,000 for the turn. So be wary of this as well. So yeah, honestly, that's pretty much it. As long as you're able to survive and stall out, you can probably win. It is a little hard. Try not to go to 0 is my only tip that I would recommend. Plus, these guys, the Jesus Burgess and the Kuzan, can't be removed by effects. So cards like Luffy and Hinobird Zap are not as effective, but it's still good to be able to just have a body to swing with. Yeah. And then our next deck is GP Luffy. This deck is so fun to play against. Realistically, they have to see stage, which is fine. But if you have an answer every time for his stuff, they normally play a 1-drop on 1 or 2, depending if they go first or second. You can always play Kuzan for any of these targets. And then you have Gadatsu or Hinobird Zap or even Rocket Leaf. You can clear these Zoro Juros, or you can put it away with the Mermaid Combat. And then if you get rid of the 4 Sanji Puddings he plays, he's literally just in a rough place, putting into your life and stuff. And the only card that is super annoying to deal with is literally the secret Luffy's. He's going to gain Rush, and if he does, he returns 2 active Dawn to restand himself, and he takes a life. So starving is a little awkward there, but it's fine as long as, you don't give him Sanji Puddings, and also you're just trying to milk his hand out. Luffy Taro is also really annoying to deal with, but after he does this, he's just a vanilla. So if you were to remove stuff and prioritize Sanji Pudding or this Luffy, I do think this Luffy is more annoying than the Sanji. And then and obviously Gum Gum Giant, be careful of that. And some people are playing this Hell's Judgment to play around Zoro, because Green Zoro is kind of real. But yeah, those are some of the cards. Obviously, Yamato, if you can KO a Sanji, that's a 5 cost, broken. Maybe if you can stack him up to 7, you can kill him. Kill it. It's pretty good if he has stage, so be very wary of that. The highest it can go is 6, 7, 8, 8, 9. So being able to combo and clear things is very, very strong into his deck. Onto the next list is Lucci. This deck is also a little hard and challenging, but it's also fun to play against due to the fact that your Kuzans, if you hit their Brooks, they're struggling to remove stuff. If you get rid of their 4-drop Kuzan, which is fine, it's not a really big deal. You can Mermaid Combat that, but if you use the spell to put the Luccis away, put the Brooks in the Luccis, and get rid of their Manchers as well, they won't be able to loop. It's perfectly fine. Once you stack them up, you just start Yamato and clearing their 10 drops, and you just start sending it on them. Because the problem with Lucci versus Enel is that when you play one big body, how much resources are they going to use to clear this? Kuzan is a 6, but when you play him, he goes to 8. Sabo's an 8. That's a lot of resources just to remove some cards. This is only a -4 and -4. This is a -4, but you have to think about the math they do. Their weakest turn is their 6th Dawn turn if they do go second, and obviously just be wary of the 10 cost spam. And yeah, it's just kind of insane. But this deck is kind of hard. Also, not doing well into Buggy and whatnot, and Blackbeard. So we also have Calgara. This leader is real. It's very aggressive. You can starve this out, but it's not really doable. Maybe you could Mermaid Cam in these Kalgaras away because you just need to not let them have Kalgara. Rocket Luffy doesn't really do much because they're mostly 5s and 6s. So just be this matchup is probably just going to be more control, play standard gameplay, play Kuma on 6, play Katakuri on 8, Yamato on 9, Enel on 10, and then just try to take control of their board. Once you get board control, you just kind of naturally win the game, and make sure you just don't go too low because this deck does play like 2 bodies per turn, which is one of Enel's weakness. Another deck that a lot of people are playing is OP-12 Kid versus this deck. You just have to Kuzan any of their 4-drops. Their Capone would be cool. You just heal them up, and then your Yamato start railing them. They'll play like Kid and Laws. You just play your Katakuri to out these, and then if they turn anything sideways, you just swinging it into it with the 10 cost Enel. Oh, good. Kid. Sorry. So, yeah. Just be very wary. They're going to be healing every turn, and that's perfectly fine. You want them to be healthy, and then you just have a bigger board, just stronger stat line, and they just won't be able to out it every turn. On to the next one. Koala is a little harder to starve due to the fact that they have +4 on most of their characters. I'm going more faster. I'm getting really tired. +4 here, +4 here, +3 here, make it 8. A lot of them are 8 costs or 9 costs, except for the dragon doesn't get a buff. So what I would recommend is try to prioritize clearing and making sure you don't die. Playing one top end, you need to see the 10L to heal yourself because it's very important. And also play around this Nika Robin because she does trash 2 cards from your hand if you're at 5 or more. So, yeah. What else is there? Versus Rosinante, this deck is kind of fake. You literally just out his small end. You're able to clear Mermaid Cannon all these back into his life, and then you can't really KO because it would just take a life. So just being able to remove it off the board and putting it into their life is just really good. Yeah, this was most of the leaders I can think of. Obviously, UP is just a harder matchup to play against as Starving because they draw 2 cards. They're literally just putting you. They literally play 2 bodies at a time that are unkillable. So I can't really talk about that matchup due to the fact that that matchup is rough. It is doable, but like the percentage of playing into it is very low. Yeah. That's mostly all I wanted to talk about and showcase Starving. I probably wanted to go more in detail with about like specific matchups. Like I can do, sometimes Lucci might, if they go second, they play nothing on 2. 4-drop, they play Kuzan on 4. 6-drop, they don't have to do anything. You just have to know what most of these decks do, what their curve is, what is their best curve, what do they want to play on that turn, and then just knowing what your deck does and being able to remove it. So, yeah, that's essentially the game plan, the theory. I know I was just yapping for about like half an hour, but if you guys stayed to listen, it's nice. Any questions, please let me know in the comments down below. Anything you need help on, just reach out to me. My handles, ZQTCG on YouTube, ZQTCG on X. On Discord, I'm always on the Enel server, stuff like that. So please do reach out. OP-12 will be so much fun. OP-13 will wait for another day, see how things go, and we take it day by day, honestly. So, without further ado, guys, I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you guys for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. It means so much to me that you guys really love my Enel content. I want to push more, be better, but, I'm very busy, and I would like to give you at least something which is better than nothing. So, thank you guys for watching so much. ZQn signing out. Goodbye.